Was waiting for that one. Oh, it splashed down before it blew up. Yeah. If the Xbox uses... The thing is, they have to have it priced well. Okay, okay. Okay. Let's discuss console making. Let's discuss console making. They have to put a graphics card in there that is powerful, but is cheap enough that it's not going to drive up the cost of the system, so it's not like the PS3 comes out with a $600 price tag. So what they do is they use a really good graphics card that they can do a lot of integrations with, that they can overclock if they need to, and you know, it's pretty stable. The graphics card is not going to be running any operating system like Windows 7 in the background. No additional software. It's going to be purely dedicated to the game. That does give something like a 2 GB graphics card a lot of power. You say that thing will be $600 on launch? If it is $600 on launch, then yes, it's Microsoft's fault. But they can easily make this a $500, $400 system. They can easily make this with RAM and hard drives and motherboards and processors, especially if they go the AMD route. Holy shit, this would be a very cheap console if they did it smart. Quad core, 2.0, 4 gigabytes of RAM. That's all a console needs. Maybe 6, maybe 8. If they're planning to have this thing out for 10 years, I'd give it 8 gigs. Current Xboxes have 512. They only have 512 meg. They don't need a lot of RAM. That's the thing about Xboxes. They don't need a lot of RAM. They have a shitty-ass little graphics card in there with a 128 gigabyte with shit specs. And yet it's still able to run games like Sonic Gen, COD 3, as well as top-of-the-line PCs. Even though top-of-the-line PCs can run them better, it can run them at max graphics. And yes, it does get hot and noisy, and it was prone to red ringing at first. But the system can do it. If Microsoft wants to make a next-gen console that will be able to run all that, they don't need to do much. The Xbox, albeit a piece of shit... Yes, Crytek did scream at Microsoft and Sony because they didn't put a lot of RAM in it. The thing is, it doesn't need a lot of RAM. Okay, let's bring up Task Manager on a Windows 7 64-bit system. That is, yes, running a large amount of applications. Just Cause 2, the game that was just running. You know what? We'll actually have this separate. We'll put J right here, J, and I'll actually add a screen region for it so you guys can see exactly what it's doing. We'll add a screen region for it, and, you know, we'll go back into the game, and you can see how much, you know, processes power it kicks up. This is on a system. Let's see how much... I'm actually curious on this one. Let us... Yeah, if it only runs a game, it makes sense, but I want to know how much a game like Just Cause 2 runs in like, its most heated moments. I'm pushing the game to the maximum, like, it can go. You see it at the bottom? Why am I using a controller? That's stupid of me. The RAM is not changing on this. The RAM, that 388.456, that is really low for a game that I'm doing this to. I'm doing the most difficult thing this engine can do. I'm not even scratching the surface. Microsoft doesn't need to do all that much. This game, if I was to clock the FPS, let's open up Fraps too. Let's open up Fraps, and I think it locks itself at 30. I don't think it'll ever go below that. If it does, it'll only be for like little flare things. Now, I want to see Fraps because I want to see. Let's enable the benchmarking hotkey. I want to display that overlay, and we'll display it in the upper right-hand corner so you guys can see it. Alright, so you see it? 47 FPS. Alright, 30 FPS, 25, 24. I think it might actually be locked at like 25 or 24. Still, I'm not like lagging. It's 1 FPS. Great job there, Fraps. I was definitely running at 1 FPS for a second there. I got up to 200 FPS. Alright, well then let's stand still. Let's not go anywhere. You can see that the iPod service is not running anything. Well, that's great. Next game. There we go. Let's see the settings on this thing. Display settings should be maxed out. On. Yeah, you have to save the settings. Blah, blah, blah. Advanced display settings. Everything's on the highest settings they can go. Well, I guess anti-aliasing could be better, but it looks like shit if you do it. The textures are on their highest detail. Water detail is high. 1616 VSync. This is all on their highest possible settings. No, it's already on the settings I need it to be on. Resolution is on, you know, I would say that this is HD. Probably not 1080p, pretty damn good. Human eye can't see over 400 FPS, or 40 FPS, yeah. 30 FPS for this game right now, doing exactly what it's doing. You know, let's accelerate upwards so we can see the whole city. We're still not scratching 30 FPS all that much. I love how it just does not want to track the one application I have selected that I wanted to see. Yeah, this is DirectX 11. And I'd assume that that console would be able to run DirectX 11. It's Microsoft's baby. If it's gonna run it'll run DirectX 11 if, you know, that's the protocol Microsoft uses behind the mirror. I doubt they use OpenGL because that would be a mess. Yeah, maybe they'd use OpenGL. I guess it's for the vendors, you know, whatever. But still, this is a game where I can go from the stratosphere to ground level in about 20 seconds, and you will not see things pop up. You know, aside from when I get into the draw range of bushes and stuff. But you won't see textures pop in. You won't see, you know, things just a This is a game that was put out 2 years ago. You know, it is running on, I wouldn't say the top of the line system, but a good damn system. And I wish I had the old Bolo mod. The old Bolo mod, oh fucking hell, I could change the time settings like this. I could change weather, I could change anything in the game instantaneously with just a click of a button. On my the number pad controlled the time of day, the weather, and like 7 other things. Yeah. Yeah, I'm streaming this game too. My computer is dedicated to not only making Just Cause 2 happen, but encoding it, sending it out. Hell, I could probably record this as well through Fraps, and you'd see no problems whatsoever. Microsoft's console will be able to do that shit. And Microsoft's console, the 720, when eventually it comes out of Microsoft's ass, for one, it better fucking have Kinect compatibility. If that fucker is not able to work with a goddamn Kinect, you're gonna piss off every fucker who spent $300 on that fucking console. And yes, I'm including the price of all the games, because nobody plays Kinect Adventures. Not even fucking idiots. Kinect Adventures was fun for 5 minutes. Like, and then you're like, well, why don't I play a game that's actually fun, like Kinect Sports? Lightning! And yes, like 3 people. Yes. I have a Kinect too. Hell, if I could figure out how to use the thing as the Blade Cam instead of the shitty original Xbox Vision camera, I'd love to! Because guess what? The camera on that fucking thing's amazing! 3D motion tracking! Holy shit, you packed that all into a less than $200 package? Oh my god! Why isn't this everywhere? Why didn't you make this fucking on the PC? You better fucking make it work with the with the 720. But I've no doubts that the 720 will be able to do a lot more than a computer can now down the line. It will be able to run Crisis 4. It will be able to run Halo 6. My PC right now will probably be able to run those games on low settings. If, you know, metaphorically, if Halo 6 was to come out on... You know what I mean. Yeah, the PC version of the Kinect is $100 more than the console version. Guess what? I'll download a fucking driver off the internet and get it to work. And save myself the money. In all seriousness, that 720 will be able to do those things. There's no question in my mind that it will do. The thing is, I'd rather spend my money on a PC. Because with a PC, you not only get a great gaming system, yours didn't come with a... Oh, that's not good. But with a PC, you're not only getting a gaming system, but you're getting a PC. And that's something Microsoft will never be able to do with a 720. You can't put Word on a 720. You can't browse the web on a 720 yet. They might add, like, IE, but who wants to fucking browse the web on IE? You can't have Skype and Pigeon running all your applications. You can't stream directly off a 720 to Twitch, maybe. That would be awesome if they could. I would love that. They probably can't, though. You can't do a lot of things with a 720 that you can do with a PC. Can you load mods on a 720? Can you do the Bolo mod on an Xbox? No, you can't. Can you record videos directly from the 720 and upload those fuckers instantly to YouTube through, or can you add editing software, video editing software to a 720? No, you can't. You can't. They'll never do that. The ability to edit videos, not like, oh, I added some stupid text to my video. I mean, like fucking blue screening shit. That kind of shit, like Adobe Premiere shit, they're never gonna let that fly on an Xbox. Because one, nobody's gonna fucking code it, and two, nobody's gonna buy it, because they're sure as fuck not gonna make that shit free. You think they're insane? They're not make that shit free. It's Microsoft. And sure, Bill Gates might be awesome and, you know, donate money to charity, but he doesn't run Microsoft anymore. He's his own man. Microsoft is still run by Steve Ballmer, who I don't like him. He's too dickish. And yes, he can have good moments, but Steve Ballmer can, Steve Ballmer was the one who passed E3 for Xbox last year. He saw that presentation, was like, yeah, that's E3 material. That'll get all the gamers on our side. No! Why are you doing this? Yes, I want to see Dance Revolution 2. Yes, that's totally the games and IPs I want to see. Yes, let's watch kids play with Snuggles the Tiger Bear. Fuck! Yes, that's what E3 is about. If you wanted to show off the goddamn Kinect, you'd use it more like what the iPhone is. With something like Siri, where it could be like, hey, Kinect, play all songs by the Beatles. And it would do that. or hey connect, and let's say you have a Windows 7 phone. Hey connect, call Cheryl. And it goes to a video conference with Cheryl through her phone, through your Connect. And that thing will fucking track you about the room. It will look left when you go left. It'll look right when you go right. Are you even paying to the chat? Yes, I am paying to the chat. But yes, Rico does die. I've just disabled that function. But they could have had so much potential to make Connect into something so much more awesome. They could have been like, Connect, call or look up local pizza places. Connect pulls up a list of local pizza places. You do your hand thing. I'm not paying you guys. You guys are here for free. Like, I'm not getting paid to do this. I do this for free. It's a service to you guys. But seriously, you could have been like, okay, Connect, Google Pants. And Connect would have pulled up a web browser window with pants. And the great thing about Google Images, oh my god, that would have integrated so fucking well. You just mouse over what you want. Whoop, there you go. Oh fuck, that works. That would have worked. Don't get me fucking started on Windows 7 phone, or Windows Phone 7 and Windows 8. You know, with Windows 8, fuck that noise. No one's gonna fucking use Windows 8. You don't know why? Nobody used Vista. Nobody used Windows 2000. Everyone knows that when it comes to Microsoft and making operating systems, you skip every other year. Because they'll try something out. When they get an operating system right, next year they'll try something new. And when they do it, they fuck it up. And then they take the next 4 years to fix it and release it in a new OS, and it actually works and is good. And that's what happened with Aero and Windows Vista. Now it actually is pretty damn kick-ass when it comes to, Windows 7. And, all the other fucking features they threw in here. It still fucking irks me that you can't go to control... Okay, as a network administrator, the one thing that pisses me off about Windows 7 compared to a Windows XP system is, as a network administrator, you should be able to go to control panel, and under one of these fucking options, I should be able to go right to my goddamn network adapter. But no, they took that out, and they made me go through this goddamn useless network and sharing center, and then I have these fucking things right here are fucking useless. The home and work and private network, those are fucking useless, because home and private are the same fucking thing, and public should be an automatic fucking... God damn it! Okay, and the fucking thing that irks me the most is this shit right here. This shit right here is the thing that pisses me off the most. This goddamn this goddamn fucking list of useless shit, that should just be a simple text box of enable simple sharing. Boom! XP had that. Why couldn't Windows have it? And then I want to go, let's say I want to add a manual IP address. Okay, with Windows XP, click on one thing. Go to your window. Right click. Boom! You're at your window that you want. No, you have to go through the network and sharing center. And if you don't know where to go, you're going to be dicking around here for 5 minutes. So you say, oh, change adapter settings. Now I can right click, go to properties, and change my goddamn IP address. But no. They had to add an extra menu and just make it more fucking confusing. So, yes, Microsoft fucks up. God fucking fuck your fucking church! I'm gonna blow it up with my goddamn bazooka! Goddamn! So, yes. That is what irks me as a network administrator. Sorry about blowing up your town, guys. Setting up a home network, Windows XP was fucking easy. Why? Because they already recognized themselves. As long as they had separate IP addresses. Fuck you. Eat a bell. Fuck you all. No, I'm chasing that bell down. Fuck it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna catch it. That makes a loud noise when it crashes. I think it's gone. I think I might have blown up the bell. So, yeah. Yeah. That's the thing that irks me with Windows. Windows 7, Windows Vista, and Windows XP all hate each other. They're all XP. They're all Microsoft products. But unless you have a server managing them all, a domain server, like you're going to pay fucking $300 for the software itself, plus $600 for the server that can run it, it's just going to be a bitch. Fuck you, eat grenade. Also, explosive rockets. It's just a fucking... The fucking Windows systems should be simple. Windows systems should be... I'm not saying go back to DOS. I'm not saying go back to DOS. I'm saying have XP's core with 7's exterior. Windows Longhorn! Holy shit, if you ever play with a beta of an operating system, find Windows Longhorn. It is amazing. It's essentially Vista and XP, and they took the best parts and made them fuck, and then Longhorn came out, and then they stripped it of its XP identity and made Vista. Oh, please ran around Windows Phone 7. I haven't used it. There we go. Longhorn was my big, was fucking like okay. Longhorn. Oh god. I love Longhorn. I only got to play around with it for like 3 days. But dear God, you know, aside from Explorer crashing every 5 minutes, because, you know, they were rewriting Explorer, you know. Oh, the one thing I love about Windows 7 and, one thing I like about Windows 7 and Windows Vista compared to XP, this. Yeah, I got to play with Longhorn. I had a VM of it, and then the disk I had the VM on died, and I lost Longhorn, and I had to go back to XP because I'm not fucking with Vista. Fuck Vista. But Jesus Christ, Longhorn was fucking awesome. Jesus. It was like, yeah, we've got the internal components. We got IPv6, you know. We've got USB working right. You know, with Windows... Okay, let's explain something with Windows and USB. When Windows XP came out in 2001, USB wasn't a standard. USB wasn't used. Your USB disk 10 years ago would have been laughed at. Like, who the fuck would use that? When we have serial devices that work just as fine. My mouse has its own specific port in the back of the computer. Why would I change that, you know? USB wasn't accepted. And so they didn't program it into XP. Of course, at Service Pack 1, they added drivers for it. And the thing is, they weren't built-in drivers. They were added on. So whenever you plug a USB device into your computer, it has to register not only the fact that you've plugged the device in, but the hub that it's in as well. That little female part of the USB device that you plug into, it has to get the drivers for that, and for that specific port, it only remembers the drivers for that. So you only have it there. So if you unplug it and plug it into another port, it's like, holy fuck, this is a new device! And if you have to manually install the drivers every time, it's a dick. you know, Microsoft did fix that down the line. The great thing about automatic updates is originally, or when you did automatic drivers, it didn't search itself for the drivers. Well, it did search itself, but it only searched like for basic drivers. If you had custom drivers on your system, you would never find them. You had to manually go and find the drivers on the system. You deleted them? Fuck you. You gotta re-download that shit. It's not gonna save copies of that driver, even though it does. It's not gonna remember where it saved the copies of it, but fuck you. So every time you plug that USB device in, it had to take 20, 30 seconds out of its day to go, put them up, okay, here's a USB hub. Okay, here's a device plugged into it. Okay, let's find out what's going on with that device. Blah, 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 blah. It would just take so much time to do that inane shit. Windows XP, or Windows XP, did not like USB. It wasn't built in. It was built into the original build. To the 6000 build. Or no, the 5000 build. Windows was 5000. Was it? No, Windows XP was 5000. Vista was 6000. And then Windows 7, even though they didn't fully rewrite the kernel, they marked it as 7000. With the original build of XP, it does not work with USB. Go back to SimCity. I'm not going back to that, especially with no time left. We're pretty much over for tonight. The stream is over. Sorry, guys. I'm just gonna sign out now. No, but I want to finish my rant. And, you know, I'll just float around so you guys have something to watch. And if you want, you can just listen to it, and you'll just hear random trumpets and guns. With Windows Vista and Windows 7, they actually built USB into it, because at the time, it was standard. You know, 6 years ago, everybody had USB thumb drives and USB portable disks. So now that's all moved on to eSATA and USB 3.0. But it was built in, so now when you plug a USB device in, it doesn't take 30 seconds to go and find the same damn driver it already has. It's like, alright, I already got that one. Boom! There you go. The kernel of 7 was based off of Vista. It was heavily... In Windows 7, if you strip it down enough, is Vista. I'm sorry to say this, but Windows 7 is Vista. It is 98% Vista. But it's that same 98% that humans are related to chimps, you know? Or genetic code shares, you know? It's a scientific fact that 99% of the genetic code of a human and a chimpanzee is the same damn code. It's that 1% that puts us, you know, so much different. And it's that 1% that they did to Vista that makes 7 so much better. Holy shit, it is so much better, not only from a networking standpoint, but from specs. It makes systems run so much more cleaner. I have 16 gigabytes of RAM, and the great thing about it is it's constantly using all of that RAM. That sounds like a bad thing, but it's really a good thing, because all that RAM that it wouldn't be using for, you know, running the OS, running any games, it's preloading things. If I was to close down Just Cause 2 right now and open up Skyrim, boom! Instantly. And it's not just because I have an SSD, it's because I have 16 gigs of RAM, and probably right now, as I'm speaking, there's a portion of Skyrim loaded on my RAM, because Windows knows that I've been playing a lot of Skyrim recently. So it knows that I kind of need that. Yeah. Windows 7 has much better core management. Holy shit. If you had multiple cores in XP, ooh, it was like, what am I doing here, guys? I have no idea. Oh, fuck it. Let's just stack applications left and right and build little towers with them. And they get to stay on, and those single core applications get to stay on those cores. Hey, yeah, good job. Then, like, all of your powerful applications would be on your first core, and, like, nothing powerful was on your second core. And it was basically like, okay, so half my processor's on fire and the other half isn't being used. Good job, XP! And then they rewrote it, and it's like, okay, half the shit is on my one processor. Let's move that over. Let's reorganize this shit. Let's get it up and running. They did that. They didn't do it well, though. It would make the processes lag and run so slowly because it constantly had this management service, and they cleaned it up beautifully in Windows 7. You don't notice any of that shit going on in the background. Do something fun before you go. I seriously think this shit is fun. Ranting on about computers, it gets me off, baby. I could do 3 hours of just talking to you about computers. Ooh, I could do a stream one night of me setting up a DHCP server. Oh my. Ugh. I feel dirty, but it's true. I'm a network administrator. It's my blood. It's what I do. I love it. It is amazing to be able to do these things with computers and to know this shit about systems that are vastly superior to what we had 5 years ago. Do you think we'd be able to do this shit we could do on an iPhone 5 years ago when that fucker first came out? Before we had those fuckers? Before smartphones were integrated into society as much as they are now? Back 5 years ago, the best phone out there was a goddamn Razr. And yes, it was a fucking great phone. You could throw that thing in a goddamn volcano and it could still work. But it's a goddamn Razr. You're not going to browse the web on a Razr. You're not going to go on Twitter or Facebook on a Razr. You're not going to be able to run, you know, you're not going to be able to run like an N64 on your Razr. You can on an iPhone though. You can. You're on a console that's 20 years old on a phone. Not even, wow. The N64 is almost 20. I guess the SNES is 20. But still, do you think you'd ever have, like, back then, back when you were a little kid, and you were playing things on, like, an N64, and you were on your DOS systems, or Windows 95 or 98, or Windows 2000, back then, in those days, did you think you'd have that power on something that you can slide in your pocket? Something that you could hold in your hand? No! You thought something like that exists in Star Trek and Star Wars. And 5 years ago, that something just came into existence. Holy fucking shit! It is amazing technology. And why we don't embrace it more? Why don't we give it so much more money? Holy shit, why don't we fund the fuck out of this shit? We've already started going into AI. We have the ability to replicate a rat. A rat. Think of that. A rat is a very complex organism because it's managing its, you know, internal things, you know, its brain is making sure it doesn't die, making sure it gets food, making sure the heart beats, the lungs go, making sure all those nerves are getting proper inputs, or proper outputs to their inputs. We can do that to the level of a rat or a cat. An organism that is not that long, not that far from us when it comes to, you know, evolution. It's, you know, it's a mammal. We can replicate something that, you know, intricate on a computer. And the thing is, we're not slowing down anytime soon. Processors are limited because they overheat, but we're about to step into a threshold that nobody has ever touched before. Quantum computing. Because when you look at motherboards and you look at computer chips, they're all flat. What if we made those in a three-dimensional space? You've just not only minimized the size, but you've increased efficiency by putting those in a three-dimensional space. And holy fuck, the moment we hit quantum computing, we will have reached a pinnacle. This is like the moment the internet came out, is the moment the motherboard can be compressed down to a cube rather than a flat chip in your computer. The moment it can be a three-dimensional object rather than a two-dimensional object, and yes, motherboards do have height, you know, little transistors on them. Forget about those for a minute. Imagine it as a flat surface, because it pretty much is. Imagine that as a three-dimensional object. The moment we make processors and RAM and all of that into a three-dimensional object, holy shit! The possibilities are almost endless. The moment we incorporate gels that can cool computers faster than a fan and a piece of metal that everyone has in their computer. You all have, you know, a fan and a piece of metal that are right now cooling your computer. The moment we have gels that cool them thousands of times better, we can jack those processors up to 5-6 times their power Oh my god! You can multi-box Crisis 4 1,000 times over then. Oh shit, I'm not gonna... Damn it. It's amazing to think that that's possible. And it's not that far away. You think that that it is? Google Watson Jeopardy. Watch what happened when IBM made a computer designed to do Jeopardy. Oh, it fucking murdered the humans. Not literally. But it took Ken Jenkins, the guy who won like $500,000 on Jeopardy, and the previous champion, and it stomped them into the ground into a fine powder. Like, they had a chance after day one, like, Ken Jenkins was only like halfway behind the robot. And then it just like, Trebek, I know the answer to everything, just give me the money. And I was just like, okay, well, that's more fun. The Matrix happened. Their computers won. It's already over. It's so fucking amazing. And the thing is, Watson is outdated now. Because computers go and improve themselves so much faster. What the... So yeah, computers are fucking awesome. And I could go on forever about them. And yes, it makes me a horribly nerdy individual. And yes, it's kind of boring to some of you. But Jesus fucking Christ. If you think computers aren't going to play, like, a major role, go back to World War II and look up a guy called Alan Turing. The Turing device kind of won us the war, because we kind of learned all the German secrets and codes because of that shit. And if you think computers aren't going to get any better, look at your computer 5 years ago. Look at your computer 10 years ago. Look at how much of it... That's not a linear change. That's not a going in a straight line. That's an exponential change. Let's paint this out. I actually have paint.net for this reason. That's not a change that's like this. No. That's a change that's like this. Not yet, not yet. That's like this. And yes, for a while, it doesn't seem like much is happening right here. But when it gets to here, and it's just this infinite spiral up, where it almost goes to a point where, like, it just won't, like, time will not progress. Computers are just getting so much better that it's impossible to comprehend. No, don't save my squiggles, please. I find these things interesting, and your hard-on for these things are just the same for us. Yeah. It's miasmic. It's erotic. It's amazing. I have a $600 computer sitting next to me, the Minecraft server. It's running the Minecraft server perfectly fine. Hell, I could pop a graphics card on that thing and run Just Cause 2 on it, as well as the Minecraft server, to be like, yeah, I'm cool. Don't worry about me. That's amazing. That's a $600 computer. Most a $600 computer. You probably get it for much cheaper if you are efficient and good with Google. That's amazing. That is that. Ah! You know? I never have to worry about the Minecraft server having to cool down. God damn it, I thought I was not going to hit that. Never have to worry about, oh crap, too many people are on the Minecraft server. The limit is now my bandwidth, which, Verizon is a cunt. And yes, I use the C word. But, it's amazing. That so much is like that. And that, 10 years from now, I'm going to look at my computer that I'm streaming from right now and be like, wow, I actually used that? I waited 20 seconds for Windows to boot? I waited 10 seconds for my homepage and 10 tabs to load up? Holy shit, I was patient back then, you know? I ran games, I was only able to run 2 instances of Just Cause 2? What? I could run 100 instances of that game on my phone, you know? That's what technology's gonna do. You know, it's amazing. It's amazing. Just look at it like this. Just look at it like this. I watched a video the other day of humanity is ascending to a point through which it will either kill itself or accelerate past and become immortal. And that point is the point we are able to control our planet completely. We can play with the weather. We can easily escape its velocity. We can do everything. And the only thing limiting us between then and there is war, is death, is, you know, before we become that United Nations society of all people living under one flag, under one, you know, belief, ideology. I'm not saying religion, but I'm saying, like, nobody wants to fight, and, you know, Pakistanis and Israelis see each other as human beings and not, you know, people of different religion. We'll either get to that point or we'll nuke each other dead. And the thing that will get us past that point, the thing that will help our society along the most, is the progression of technology. Because once our technology gets to the point that we've actually reached that point, we've got the internet. I am simultaneously broadcasting to potentially millions of people seamlessly over the internet anything I want to say. I can say cock, fuck, balls, titty, bitch, bag. And I could broadcast that to millions of people. I could go on a rant about religion or ideology or cults or money or anything like that. And instantaneously, everyone in the world can hear it. Everyone in the world can listen in to it. That's fucking amazing! 50 years ago, if you wanted to send a message to Australia, have fun mailing. Now, I email. I Skype. I stream. And it's instantaneous. And I can send anything I want. It's not like I'm sending just text or my voice. I can send files. I can send ideas. I can send ideologies. I can send information, knowledge, over a stream instantaneously to somebody else with no barriers. And this is the point, it becomes into an anti-SOPA, anti-ACTA thing. You know, don't limit, don't censor, stuff like that. But in all seriousness, that technology is going to push us to a civilization that is completely synchronous. And once we get control of the planet... Oh, see, changes my camera to do that. Cool, did not know that. See, I'm still finding new things about this game. Once we push ourselves to a civilization that is not only able to control our lives, to control small things, but be able to control the planet, to be able to control everything that our lives are. The moment we're able to harness all the energy of our planet and use it for what we need, we are immortal. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to live forever. I'm not saying the people in this society are going to live forever. But I mean, humans as a race have become immortal. The moment we're able to expand ourselves past our planet, the moment that moon colony goes up and is successful, we are immortal. Humans can't get killed off by a satellite or a supernova or something like that. We're immortal. We'll just go to another planet and start over. We'll just go to another galaxy and start over. Because we're immortal. I mean, yes, you could hunt us down and kill us, you know, to that point. But I mean, like, if our sun was to implode, fuck it, we'll go find another planet. There's like 70 in our local system that are just like Earth. Hell, there are some that are bigger. Why not go to one of those? More space to move and do shit. Or, you know, we're able to go and, you know, alright, let's put a base on Pluto. Because I want to have that perimeter defense around our solar system. Okay! Let's do it! Boom! Interplanetary defense. We're so close to that precipice. The moment we hit it, the moment we get over that edge, we're gods. We're not men anymore. We're immortal. Knowledge is out there, and we're just going to absorb it. Life is out there, and we're just going to find it. The thing is, we just got to pass by that one barrier. That is, you know, weapons of mass destruction. Planet killers. Stuff like that. If we can, you know, defeat that guy, that crazy guy who's got his finger on the button, ready to pull his shit at any moment, if we can get past that guy, if we can get past that guy who wants to kill all the people of a certain race just because they believe in a different religion, we're immortal. We're gods. There is no other way to describe us. Humans have, you know, we won. We won. We won the Age of Empires. We won everything. Because we won't die. We'll just expand and grow and do what we've always done. Do what we do best. Is be human. And, you know, sometimes it's bad. But, I mean, hell. From the bad, we got a lot of good. If it wasn't for World War II, I wouldn't be on a computer right now. If it wasn't for the Cold War, we wouldn't be talking over the internet right now. If it wasn't for all of the bad things that have happened in society, then we wouldn't have all the good things that we have in society. And you know, those crazy people that are trying to kill us, even though they look like a bad thing now, down the line when we look back, if we didn't have the experience of a Fidel Castro, of a Kim Jong-il, of an Adolf Hitler, of those people, you know, for us to learn from, then we would repeat, then we would do, we would not know what would happen in those situations, and eventually those situations would occur. We are amazing. And you know, that's why I love technology. It's because it's only going to accelerate that process. And yes, one day you'll be able to put your brain in a computer. I'm not saying, like, put your brain in a literal computer like in Fallout or something shit like that. But I mean, like, it'll be able to scan your brain and make a carbon copy of yourself inside a computer that would essentially be immortal. It is you. It's not like robot you trying to take over the world. It is a carbon, well, not carbon copy, but it is a mirror copy of your brain inside of a computer. And of course, they're probably not going to let, you know, average citizens do it. But I mean, like, important people like Einstein and, you know, Gandhi and, you know, guys like that who changed society for the better, whose ideas and, you know, concepts only have helped us in some way or another. You know? That's the precipice to which society is coming to. And technology is going to make that happen. Whether you want to or not, it's going to happen unless we die. It's sad to think about it. We're gonna either die off, or we're gonna live long enough to become immortal. I really hope for number 2. But with the way the world is, number 1 is a scary possibility that still looms over us. You never know if Kim Jong-un's gonna just be like, fuck it, I don't want to see South Korea ever again. You don't know. It would be an unwise decision because he would kill himself, because the nukes aren't that, nukes are, very big weapons, and he lives in a very small distance from South Korea. But I'm just saying, those things are very real. Those things are very scary. But if we let things like that stand in our way, we won't progress as a society. And we don't let things stand in our way like that. That's the great thing about, us, the human race in general, is that you can try as hard as you want to stop us, but we're like cockroaches, man. Hell, we fucking kill off the cockroaches. We fucking live on. We survive, we persevere. We've gone through depressions and repression and, inquisitions and all that shit. We've gone through hell. We're not gonna let that stop us. Fuck that. Better than that. We've gone through revolutions and evolutions and... one day, we'll reach the final evolution. Only one. Hell yeah, we have gone through extinctions. What was Hitler besides a guy trying to exterminate a race of people? Well, not race, but I would say a religious group of people. See, because humans are all part of a race, so we'd say ethnicity, but that's not the right word. That'd be like for using like, oh, he's black, he's Asian, I wouldn't say Asian. I would say probably. He's from Asia, so yes, Asian would probably be the correct term to use here. Pacific? I don't know. We've gone through ice ages, and, we've gone through hell. We've put ourselves through hell. We weren't put through hell by the Earth. That only happened 1 or 2 times. We mostly killed ourselves out, and we still fucking won. Because we persevere longer than than ourselves. I don't know if that makes any sense, but to me it did. But yeah. We're tough little fuckers. I think one day we'll be fine. We're not going to be left on some irradiated planet from the nukes. Some burn-up husk because there's no atmosphere left. We're not going to be all zombies or monsters. I think we can. And I think we will reach that point. And I think that point is a lot sooner than 10,000 years in the future. The point is a lot sooner than 1,000 years in the future. We learned how to fly 100 years ago. We got to the moon 50 years ago. That's a 50-year gap between learning how to get off the ground and getting to something in fucking space. Yeah. Of course, we haven't been back. But you know what I'm saying. If we put our minds to it, we push all of our effort forward, we'll be there. We'll be there. Oh, Lord, we'll be there. We'll be there in a tour de force. 60s technology. My calculator on my phone is 60s technology. That has the power of the ship we launched into space that landed on the moon and then launched people back up into orbit, landed them safely back on our little pale dot. We call it planet. We launch little balls of metal into space, and they whiz around planets, and they become super fast. We connect wires across our little globe and are able to talk through them instantaneously. This is all technology that we've gotten in the last 100 years. Imagine what we're going to do in the next 100 years. Imagine that. Before any of us die. Before any of us, modern medicine will keep us alive well into our 90s. I mean, unless you get killed from a bullet or a gun, or a bullet or a gun, or, you know, something like that. Modern medicine will keep us alive for a long time. Yeah, there we go. Didn't know I was actually going to do this, but okay. But yeah. Haha, the whole fucking bridge. Fuck you guys. But yeah. I can't wait to see what happens. What life is like when we hit our tricentennial. When America hits 2076. When eel is not a name that rules over North Korea. When things are at that point. I can't wait for it. Because I can't imagine it. I don't know what's gonna happen. And that's the thing that amazes me about it. Is I don't know what the technology is gonna be like in 10 years, but I sure as hell can't wait for it. Oh boy. I love it. I can't wait for it. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I just can't wait for it. Fuck you all. 5 years ago, could you do that in a game? No. In 2006, you just had Halo 3, I think. No. 2006 was probably Halo 2. No. 2006, early Xbox, probably Just Cause 1. But you know what I mean. Could you do that on a console and it actually runs seamlessly and... Oh, could you run that on a computer? No way in hell you can run that on a computer. But you know, I'm ranting. I've gone to 30 minutes past what I wanted to do tonight. I started an hour earlier. So everybody watching on the archives and have a nice little video in front of them. I want to say thank you to everybody out there in internet land who listened to me rant for the last probably an hour. I want to thank everybody watching in the archive. I want to thank everybody who's, you know, interested in technology, whether they started before tonight or my little rant, you know, piqued an interest. It's an amazing thing. I want to thank everybody out there who stuck through my rant, everybody out there on the server. Thank Doom, happy birthday, man. Thank you for doing all that you do on the server. I just want to thank everybody.